What's going on? My name is Tyson Bailey. I'm the founder here at Trend Advisor. What I'm going to be doing in this little training session is giving you an introduction into sales funnels. Now, we're not going to dive deep into the weeds and go over split testing and optimization and all the different variations that you can use. But what I want to do is get you comfortable with the mechanics of what sales funnels are, how they work. So hopefully there's a few things that you can take and implement into your business. Now, what I'm going to be doing is I'll actually walk you through a couple of examples that we're using today to generate some really good results for advisors. So for example, there's an advisor we're working with named Mike. He just closed, I think, just over $45,000 in commission with a couple of IULs that he sold through this. Kara has so far this year closed over $238,000. So I'll walk you through their campaigns and I'll show you what's actually working today. So anyway, that'll be a great way for you to get some value from this. So before I dive into sales funnels too deep, I want to walk you through what got me to sales funnels. So hopefully this will set the stage so that you understand a little bit how they're different from regular websites and all that kind of stuff. So what I used to do back when I got into the marketing world, I did a lot of email marketing, direct mail marketing, and had a lot of really great results. But then I started working for a financial consulting company, essentially doing case design, illustration work. I had my marketing background, so I did a lot of marketing there. But what it boiled down to was they were saying, hey, if you don't have a case to illustrate, go out and get us more cases to illustrate. So whether that was recruiting advisors, going after retail clients, that was now my responsibility for this financial consulting company. So what I would do, I went through a couple different avenues, but what ended up happening was I landed on like, okay, I want to do more in the digital space. Email is great, direct mail is great, but I want to figure out this digital marketing game. So what I would do is I started by creating websites, and they were really good looking websites. I'd spend weeks, if not months, getting these and making them perfect, and I'd show them to advisors and they'd be like, okay, that's awesome. This is a great website, way to go. So I'd launch the website and then nothing would happen, crickets. Okay. And so I was like, okay, it must be an issue with the website. So I'd go revise the website, I'd scrap it, start from scratch, whatever it was. I did this multiple times. I'd relaunch it, not get leads, scrap the website, create a new website. And I was in this vicious cycle of a lot of frustration trying to figure out how to get this digital marketing thing to work. Now, I ended up having a conversation with an individual where he asked me a question. I don't think he realized how impactful it was at the time, but this literally changed the trajectory of my career. So he said, hey, so where can people click on your website? And I started going through and I was like, okay, there's the about page, the mission statement, our team, our history. We had a timeline feature. We had products and services, the carriers we offered. Essentially, I was throwing everything in the kitchen sink at my prospects, hoping that something would stick. And so what ended up happening is that I would give them like an online brochure, essentially, with the website. They would get on the website and they would start clicking through the about section, our team, the timeline, the mission, the products, the blog, all this stuff, right? And they would just get lost. So bottom line is that I wanted them to click on the feature that says request a call or contact us, but I was throwing all these other things at them that got in the way. So one thing to remember is that a confused mind will always say no. So whether you're marketing in the real world, in the online world, whatever it might be, remember, a confused mind will always say no. So what the funnel concept does is essentially it puts all of these pieces in order. So we're getting our prospect to the decision or action point that we want them to get to without all of the fluff, without all of the confusion. Going back to that maze, we're taking away any sort of function or feature that's going to get in the way of them making the decision that we want them to. So let me give you an example of this in the real world. So I love going and looking at model homes. My wife and I, literally from the time that we got married all the way to now, it's something that we do frequently. If we find out there's a new development nearby, we will go and look at those model homes. Now, what I realized walking through these model homes is that this is essentially a real world sales funnel. So what they'll do is you have these these model homes that are all laid out, okay? So there's usually a front office like you see here with the white, and you've got a few houses that are lined up in a row. And in most circumstances, in the good model home setup where whoever's running these knows how to market, they know how to generate leads, they know how to generate sales, what they'll do is they'll put a fence around the outside of the homes. Now, it's not like a super high fence with barbed wire. Just essentially, there's a fence on the outside so that you have to walk through the front office. What happens when you walk through the front office? You're going to meet a realtor, real estate agent who comes up and says, hey, how's it going? What are you looking for? What brought you in today? And more often than not, they will hand you a card to fill out, or they will gather your information. So they're getting, your first name, your last name, your email address, maybe your phone number. Why do they do this? Well, they know that if they get your information, then when you go through the model homes and you're done, they can then follow up with you via email sequences, phone calls, sometimes text sequences. So essentially, this right here is a real world sales funnel where they bring you in through one entry point in order to get access to what you consider to be valuable. And in this case, in the model homes, it's the valuable thing is the access to the model home. So when I walk in, I am willing to give away my contact information in exchange for access to something valuable. Now, replace homes with your funnels. So when we go to a sales funnel, always at the beginning, we're going to have what's called an opt-in page, like you're going to see in the top left here. With the opt-in page, we are offering somebody access to something valuable in exchange for their information. This is like an ethical bribe that we give them. Now, what we give them access to, or what we give them in exchange for their contact information, is always going to change depending on who we're targeting, what they're after, what we want them to do. In this example I'm showing on the screen right now, this is a sales funnel, or we're offering a sales video inside of this funnel. So we're going to offer them access to a video that gives them information that they really, really, really want. Now, it could be a video on how to do a policy review. It could be a video on retirement planning. It could be a video on tax tips. It could be, name anything in there. That video is going to be something that's going to be matched to our audience so that we know that they want that really, really bad, and they're willing to give up their contact information in exchange for that. Now, why do we want their contact information? Because more often than not, these individuals aren't going to be ready to buy or meet with us in the moment. You're really good at what you do. I understand that. And that you have a lot of stuff that they need. But a lot of times our prospects just don't recognize that right away. So what we do is we're able to drip information on them with that email sequence that you see at the bottom. It could be follow-up phone calls sometimes. It could be text. We just need a way to follow up with them so that we can showcase that we are the expert that they need to turn to for whatever their pain point is. So again, retirement planning, could be legacy planning, estate planning, could be just getting life insurance in general. That email sequence allows us to drip information on them, to indoctrinate them, to educate them, and always entice them to get to the next step, which is going to be getting on the phone with us, meeting with us, like you're going to see all these arrows and pointing to the calendar. We need to give them a place where they can book an appointment with us without getting in the way, right? We want to make it as easy and streamlined as possible. Now, with that being said, I'm going to show you this John Madden looking football play that we have on the screen right now. Now, don't get lost in all the arrows going back and forth and up and down and that kind of stuff. Remember, our sales funnel is going to follow this exact same this same structure where we just go opt-in, sales video, or lead magnet, whatever it is. Remember, it doesn't have to be a sales video, and then get them to book an appointment. So inside of this big schematic here, what we're going to have, hopefully you guys can see my mouse right here. So if you look, starting with this middle image right here where it says POZ book offer order page. Now with this right here, this is a book funnel. What we're doing is we're giving away a book in exchange for all of their information. So if you notice, starting right where is this, where my mouse is, this structure essentially follows what we were showing on the previous page. This is our opt-in page, okay? This is where we're driving all of our traffic so that we can bring them to a single action point that we want to bring them to, right? So on this page, everything that they see on this page is going to be selling the book or offering the books, enticing them to get the book. We're giving away this book for free in this campaign specifically. This is the same one that Mike has been running that generated over $45,000. The one that Kara is running that's generated over $238,000 this year. And both of them have much more in the pipeline, which is awesome. But it's following this exact same structure where we get them, with our company specifically, we focus on LinkedIn marketing, but the traffic source can be whatever fits your business model. So we get them to this funnel, get them to this opt-in page. Now, on the next page, we give them access to a little bit more information, but more importantly, we give them the ability to book a meeting with us right away. So this is that calendar, right, that we're showing on the previous page. Okay, so there's a calendar option on the second page. And with that, since we have their information from this first page over here, this opt-in page, then we can follow up with phone calls, email sequences, sometimes text. So that's how we're getting this lead system, this sales funnel system to start working for us. So all we have to do is focus on the front end. All we have to do is focus on feeding the machine, and then the sales funnel takes care of the rest of it for us. So think about this. If you're door knocking, if you're cold calling, you have to handhold each of your prospects each step along the way to get them to take the action or make the decision that you need them to, okay? With the sales funnel, there's a lot of automation built in. It's really a system, it's a machine. So we have to just do the work of getting them to the machine, and then the machine handholds our prospects for us. So really, really powerful when you get it all put together. So anyway, that again, like I said, just a very quick overview to show you what sales funnels are, how they work, hopefully give you some examples of what you can take and implement in your business. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us at support@trendadvisor.com, and I will talk to you guys soon.